Hello guys and welcome to a new series, Fallout New Vegas. Ooh. Now, okay music. I don't want to let it finish, but okay. Well, this is Fallout New Vegas. This isn't normal New Vegas, but it's going to be a modded Fallout New Vegas, as you can see by the thing in the back there. Electro City. Now, this is probably my second favorite game from, like, my favorite games, so... Also, I've played this before, so I kind of know what I'm going to be doing. So, why don't we just go ahead and get started? How's that sound? Now, I tried doing this a few days ago, and I ran into some crash problems, but I'm doing this again, and I'm going to say I'm going to persevere through all this. Also, if you guys can't tell by my voice, I'm a little sick, so if I cough and, sneeze while I'm recording, then I am sorry. Also, the music in this is amazing. I love it. And pop goes the raider.
War never changes. When atomic fire consumed the Earth, those who survived did so in great underground vaults. When they opened, their inhabitants set out across the ruins of the old world to build new societies, establishing villages, forming tribes. As decades passed, what had been the American Southwest united beneath the flag of the new California Republic, dedicated to old world values of democracy and the rule of law. As the Republic grew, so did its needs. Scouts spread east, seeking territory and wealth in the dry and merciless expanse of the Mojave Desert. They returned with tales of a city untouched by the warheads that had scorched the rest of the world, and a great wall spanning the Colorado River. The NCR mobilized its army and sent it east to occupy Hoover Dam and restore it to working condition. But across the Colorado, another society had arisen under a different flag. A vast army of slaves forged from the conquest of 86 tribes, Caesar's Legion. 4 years have passed since the Republic held the dam, just barely, against the Legion's onslaught. The Legion did not retreat. Across the river, it gathers strength. Campfires burn, training drums beat. Through it all, the New Vegas Strip has stayed open for business, under the control of its mysterious overseer, Mr. House, and his army of rehabilitated tribals and police robots. You are a courier, hired by the Mojave Express to deliver a package to the New Vegas Strip. What seemed like a simple delivery job has taken a turn for the worse.
Oh no.
You got what you were after, so pay up.
You're crying in the rain, Pally.
Guess who's waking up over here?
Time to cash out.
Will you get it over with?
Maybe cons kill people without looking them in the face. But I ain't a fink. Dig? You've made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
I've done been shot in the head. Also, I have pretty much all the DLC as well, so I'm gonna be getting all these, like, DLC things from the very beginning. Which will make me kind of overpowered here at the very beginning.
You're awake. How about that? Whoa, easy there, easy. You've been out cold a couple of days now. Why don't you just relax a second? Get your bearings. Let's see what the damage is. How about your name? Can you tell me your name?
Now, most Bethesda games, I like going with a female character. So I'm gonna do so in this one. Because if you go and play one of these long, open-ended games, which would you prefer? A male character or a female character? See, now you see why I'm going with a female. So Lunch would be my male name. So let's go with Lunchette. That sounds female, or feminine, doesn't it?
I can't say it's what I'd have picked for you, but if that's your name, that's your name.
That would have been
I'm
a weird
Doc
name
Mitchell.
to see.
Welcome to Good Springs. Now, I hope you don't mind, but I had to go rooting around there in your noggin to pull all the bits of lead out. I take pride in my needlework, but you'd better tell me if I left anything out of place.
Let's hope not, Doctor.
How'd I do?
So here's the character creation screen. I'm going to go through here. I'm going to create my character. And I'll be right back to show you guys the final product. Hello guys, and we are back. So what do you think of this character, eh? Kind of going with like a sort of used to be tribal kind of a, you know, feel. Well, let's get to it. Yes.
Well, I got most of it right anyway. Stuff that mattered. Okay. No sense keeping you in bed anymore.
If you guys might have noticed,
Let's see if we can get
there's
you
this
on your
dynamic
feet.
lens kind of thing. Or focus, there you go.
Good. Why don't you walk down to the end of the room?
I like it.
Over by that
If you guys don't
machine
like it,
there.
just comment and be like, hey, this
Take
is
it
kind
slow
of
now.
weird. Could you
It ain't a
change it?
race.
And I'll change it for you guys. Ooh. But I really like having it because it's like, you know, you focus in on something, and off in the background, you know, it unfocuses. You can kind of switch in between. I don't know why, you know, other games do that. But it's a nice effect. Very nice effect. So here's our vigor tester. And if you guys hear any Skype things, then I'm sorry. My friends are online.
Oh, looking good so far. Go ahead and give the vigor tester a try. We'll learn right quick if you got back all your faculties.
I really like this machine better than the little book that you had in Fallout 3. I never liked that book. Actually, the whole tutorial, to me, kind of seemed a little long. And this tutorial is a little bit more... makes sense. Okay. So, in this game, you've got 8 or so attributes. The attributes will affect your skills a little bit. So like if you put like 1 more point into strength, you'll have 2 or 3 extra skills in melee and unarmed. However, these attributes also affect things that can only change depending on the attribute. So like your inventory weight, your damage, and your weapon effectiveness is also determined by strength. So like, let's say if I wanted to carry more weight, you know, my encumbrance. If I wanted to be able to carry more, I would have to put more points into strength. That kind of stuff. And these can't normally level up like normally. You'd either have to get implants or you'd have to pick up a perk that levels it up by 1. Next we have perception, which is like skills, accuracy, compass range, endurance, health and resistance. Charisma would be for your companion nerve and getting away with certain speech checks. Intelligence, by far my favorite attribute, because it affects how much skill points you have, which is really neat. Agility would be your speed, your action point regeneration, then your luck, critical hits, and enemy mishaps. It's always funny whenever, you know, a guy tries to throw a grenade at you and it actually blows up in his hand. I've seen it happen a few times. Also, I like all these two-headed coin flip, 21 leaf clover. So, I'm going to be putting points into this. Now, you can also take away points, but I'm going to start with the default 5, because it's default. And it's a nice thing to start off, you know, your character with. It's probably the best, is to have at least 5 in all the others. So I'm going to go with 3 points into intelligence, 1 point into perception, and 1 point into luck. There we go. That's a nice character. Look at all the skill points that I'll be getting. Ding.
Look at that. Maybe them bullets done your brain some good.
It might have.
Well, we know your vitals are good. But that don't mean them bullets didn't leave you nuttered and a bighorn dropping. What do you say you take a seat in my couch and we go through a couple of questions? See if your dogs are still barking.
Okie dokie. I got a lot of tattoos. Because I'm a tribal.
All right. I'm gonna say a word. I want you to say the first thing that comes to mind. Dog.
Kick.
House.
Target.
Night.
Shroud.
Bandit.
Swiss cheese.
Light.
Flash.
Mother.
Human shield.
Sometimes when you give tests like this, you learn more than you was hoping for, and I reckon that ain't always the best thing. But I guess maybe it explains a thing or two about your predicament. Okay, now I got a few statements. I want you to tell me how much they sound like something you'd say. First one, conflict just ain't in my nature.
Conflict isn't in my nature. I disagree with that.
I ain't given to relying on others for support.
I agree with that.
I'm always fixin' to be the center of attention.
Disagree.
I'm slow to embrace new ideas.
Disagree.
I charge in to deal with my problems head on.
Agree.
Almost done here. What do you say you have a look at this? Tell me what you see.
That looks like the head of an ant, but not a two-headed ant. Which is really weird, so I guess I'll go with that.
Okay. How about this one?
Now this looks like a gun with like this weird thing right there, but there's actually 2 of them. So I guess it's space-age technology.
Last one.
Now this looks like that. Here's the body of a person. There's another body. There's their hair. And they're high-fiving each other. However, that isn't one of the things on the list. So, I guess it'd be a bearded man? Maybe? Because here would be where his mouth is, and this would be the beard. Those would be his eyes, I guess.
Well, that's all she wrote. I don't have nothing to compare it to, so maybe you'd better just have a look at the results. See if it all seems right to you.
Energy, weapons, guns, and science? Pa. I'm gonna go with... It's always been a... I'm definitely going for lockpick. And science, to get me into things faster. It's always been a tough choice for me. My last skill. I think I'll go into speech. Yeah, speech sounds good. Let's go with those three.
Before I turn you loose, I need one more thing from you. I got a form for you to fill out so I can get a sense of your medical history. Just a formality. Ain't like I expect to find you got a family history of getting shot in the head.
Now, there's a lot of traits that have been added with these mods, and that, you know, I've got all these DLC that they also add in other traits. Now, I really like Gifted. Doesn't have a picture, which kind of sucks, but, you have more innate abilities than most, so you may not have spent as much time honing your skills. Your statistics are better than the average person, but your skills are lacking. So, you have +1 to all your attributes. However, you get a -5 skill points per level. So I think you normally get 10 points per level, plus 1 more for every point of intelligence. Oh, no, it's 5. Yeah, you get 5 skill points by default, and then however your intelligence is, it gets added to it. So I've got 8. So that makes my skill points 13. If I get this, I'm gonna be having what is it? 8 skill points per level. However, there's a skilled. Now skilled, you're skilled, but not oh no, it's not skilled. Slow learner. There we go. Slow learner is the one that I was looking for. It may take you longer than usual to gain a level, but when you do, your knowledge increases more than ordinary. I gain 5 extra skill points per level. So, with these two together, I get +1 to all my skills. However, I gain 50% less experience. But that's okay. Because there's a lot of stuff to do in this game. And I'm going to be getting lots of experience up the wazoo. So, I think it is very, very beneficial of me to be a little overpowered. Don't you guys think? And plus, with my intelligence so high, I'll easily make up a lot more. I'll get more skill points, so. However, gaining levels is going to be a little bit hard. However, there's a perk that increases your experience gain, so I could probably offset that a little bit.
Alright, I guess that about does it. Come with
Yep.
me, I'll see you out.
Will you now? All my tattoos. All this stuff that I can't grab. I could, but before I go out, there's actually one thing that gets added by a mod, and that's this thing. It's a flashlight. Flashlights are neat. Because it's going to be dark in this game, I made sure that it was.
Here, these are yours.
Hey, more free
That
stuff.
was all you had on you when you was brought in. I hope you don't mind, but I gave the note a look. I thought it might help me find a next of kin. But it was just something about a platinum chip. Well, if you're heading back out there, you ought to have this. They call it a Pip-Boy. I grew up in one of them vaults they made before the war. We all got one. Ain't much use to me now, but you might want such a thing after what you've been through. I know what it's like having something taken from you. And put this on too, so the locals don't pick on you for lacking modesty. It was my wife's. I think she was about your size, and she hardly wore it after we left the vault. Felt it was too brazen.
Well, thanks for patching me up, Doc.
Don't mention it. It's what I'm here for. You should talk to Sunny Smiles before you leave town. She can help you learn to fend for yourself in the desert. She'll likely be at the saloon. I reckon some of the other folks at the saloon might be able to help you out too. And the metal fella, Victor, who pulled you out of your grave. Anyway, you ever get hurt out there, you come right back. I'll fix you up. But try not to get killed anymore.
Well, thank you, Doc. I'm going straight for hardcore. However, sometimes it doesn't activate whenever I press yes here, so I'm going to have to go into the menu to press it. I like that. As you can see, I've also installed a new mod for yes, I know, quest for the Pit Boy. So instead of it being here on my arm, I actually have it right here. It's like a little touch panel kind of thing. I think it looks rather neat. So, yes, apparel. Let's go through all the. No, most of the time. Okay, there it is. So if we go and look at our special, we're starting out pretty overpowered. Why is my agility like that? Supposed to get +1 to agility. Oh well. And you can see our skills will get affected by that as well. So you can see my science is now at 39 because I have a 9 intelligence. However, getting experience is going to be pretty tough, especially here at the very beginning. I probably won't level up here in this first episode because we're getting kind of close there. So we have some lightweight leather armor. I'm gonna need a cough here. Sorry about that. Now, I may be a tribal, but looking at this and comparing it to this is, way better. I need to cough again. So, I'm going to switch on to my lightweight leather armor. My pistols? This seems like to be a very good choice. However, I don't get much 10mm rounds, so... what's with me? Well, I am sick, so... I'm gonna go with this 9mm pistol. I'm gonna be keeping all of these. There's gonna be a method to my madness. I'm a collector. And my goal? I'm gonna try to collect every weapon in the game. That's right. Maybe every apparel as well. I was gonna really hamper my how much caps I receive, but that's alright. Okay. I think we're ready to venture out. Let's go see the beginning. Our very first loading screen. Now we're gonna have all these DLC pop-ups. Yeah. Well, look at this. Welcome to Good Screens. And look, it's Victor. Yeah, sorry about that. I can adjust the time scale with this little thing. And what I like to do, I always thought this game moved really, really fast. So I'm actually going to switch to a dynamic time scale. With this, it shows that interior time scale is 1. So, every minute that I'm playing, a minute will go by in the game. Same thing with the exterior during combat. However, if I'm not in any combat, the time scale is 20. I'm actually gonna adjust that to 15. Now with this 15, by default, it's 30. And then that's like, what? Every like 5 seconds is like a minute in game. So, time goes by really, really fast. So now it's about every 10 seconds a minute will go by. So what is that? It'll actually take quite a long time for the hour to change. And I really like that. It seems more realistic to me. But it's going at an accelerated pace. So the days are going to be much longer. However, I might have to change that at one point because I think the game is dependent upon it being, you know, the default schedule. But whenever we get to that point, we'll change it back. Sorry about all the coughing. Kind of sick, but let's go talk to Victor. How you doing, Victor?
Howdy, partner. Might I say you're looking fit as a fiddle?
Thanks for digging me out of the grave.
Don't mention it. I'm always ready to lend a helping hand to a stranger in need.
How'd you happen to find me?
I was out for a stroll that night when I heard the commotion up the old bone orchard. Saw what looked like a bunch of bad eggs, so I laid low. Once they'd run off, I dug you up to see if you were still kicking. Turns out you were. So I hauled you off to the dock right quick.
You know who those men were who
Can't
attacked
say
you?
that I'm familiar with the rascals. Some of the fine folks in town might be able to help you out with that.
How'd you end up in good streets?
I moseyed into town, 10, 15 years ago. Before that, I can't quite seem to recall. Odd. Anyway, it's a right peaceful town, and I reckon it's as fine a place to settle as any.
I've never seen a robot like you before.
I'm a Securitron. Robco Security Model 2060B. If you ever see any of my brothers, tell them Victor says howdy.
Well, see you later, Victor.
Happy trails!
So, I think this is a very good first episode. Kind of, you know, character creation and whatnot. Okay, DLC, I thought you were done. Okay, so, we created our character. We're about to go and explore some good screens. I think it's a good time to end it here. So, it's been fun, and I hope you guys will enjoy this series, because I know I certainly will. I'm the one playing it, so. So, I am Lunchbox. Adios, and good night.